Good afternoon, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Real Talk San Diego. I'm Claire McKee, and we are here to bring you the business of life in America's finest city. As always, the show is presented by our loyal partners at 5-Star Escrow and First American Title. And we've got a good one for you today. I know you've come to expect that, but we're talking real estate with a side of, does baby daddy have rights? Yeah, that's right. You heard me. And here to do so is David and Julie Butler. They're with Butler Gore Realty Group. Hi.
Hello, welcome.
Thanks for being here.
Nice to be here.
Bonnie Mantel is back. She's a family law specialist with Primus Family Law Group. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, how you doing?
Doing so great. I missed you. I feel like it's been a minute, actually. We kind of had a little hiatus there.
We did, a little bit. Had to get some work done.
But I get you twice this month, so hey. And as always, Dr. Michael Mantel is here as well. He's a transformational behavior coach. Hi, Dr. Michael.
Great to be with you again.
As always, now tell us, what color suit do you have on today?
Well, Bonnie.
It's blue.
Blue, that's what it is. Sorry.
I think it's gray, but you know, we'll roll with it.
What do we know?
What do we know?
That's gray. This is blue.
Okay, that's
and
light
that's
gray,
black.
though. That's dark gray. Anyway. So I'm just going to start. Julie, David, anybody that you want to give a shout out to? We're on Facebook Live.
Well, we would be bad parents if we didn't give a shout out to our three amazing children.
True.
And your dad, it's his birthday.
That's right, it's my dad's
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday.
Dad.
That's awesome. Happy birthday. If you're commenting, Dad, give us a little comment. I'm waiting to hear from you.
Any day.
Bonnie, anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
I want to give a shout out to all of my amazing staff at Primus Family Law Group, as well as my husband, who does everything so that I can get up and go to work every day.
Hey, amen to that. Dr. Mantel.
I want to give a shout out to my wife, Paula, who is turning, I'm not going to tell you.
Don't you
She'll kill me.
She will kill you.
Has a birthday this coming Thursday. We're going back east to celebrate it, be with our kids and grandkids.
you?
So a big shout out to our family.
Where in the East? Where are you going?
New Jersey, and
Jersey.
actually New Jersey and New York, both.
Okay, fun. Are you going to stop in the city at all?
Oh,
or?
we'll definitely be in the city for sure.
Okay.
Now, for those who don't know what the city means, let's explain. That
Please.
means New York City.
Not the Jersey Shore. That's
No,
what we're
man,
gonna
we're going down the shore.
Okay, deal. So I always start out with fun questions for our guests, and they're used to
fun.
it.
Get
They know
ready.
I'm crazy.
Fun is like a
Fun is a large word.
Depends on how you define fun.
We have different definitions of fun. It's mostly for my personal enjoyment to mildly torture my guests, and this is an easy one. Julie, I just want to know, what's a fun fact about you? Like, what's something people may not know about you?
Well, I'm just going to continue the story that we were talking about earlier with the fact that I was on The Price is Right recently, and I spun the wheel, and I got the dollar 2 times.
Not once,
But twice.
twice.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit about what that experience was like. Is it what it looks like on TV, or was it completely different?
It's much different than I thought. The studio is much smaller than I thought, and the process is very long. So it's an all-day event. But it's really exciting. The studio is really loud, and so it's almost impossible to even hear yourself think.
Yeah.
But the excitement is there, the crowd is really into it, and you actually get the prize that you bid on. So people can't believe that exactly what you see
really?
is what you get, and you get it pretty quickly.
That's
I want to say I
amazing.
got my prizes within a week or 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Did Amazon deliver that? Or just,
I'm sure they have some type of an agreement.
Big old box, just drops it off. Big barbecue, just boom.
And you can't negotiate. So after you go through this long process, whatever you win, they take you back to a room, and you immediately have to either accept the gifts that you just won, or you have to deny. There's no trading in. There's no monetary exchange instead of taking one of the prizes.
Price is Right. It's cutthroat. They're
It
not
is.
messing around.
It is cutthroat,
So
but
she's
it was
got-
a great experience.
And she's got several pairs of shoes now that she doesn't wear. But
I
apparently
won
they're very nice.
$5,000 in designer shoes.
oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a size 5.5.
Yeah, well, too bad I'm a giant.
I was gonna say, I don't think anyone here has
I was
baby
a
feet.
5.5 when I was 12, but
Right.
anyone that wears a size 9.
Hello, right here, your girl. I'm just saying.
9.
They're all in a pretty box, literally unworn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I know who to borrow shoes
Come on
from.
over.
Yeah, no problem. David, you obviously went to The Price is Right with her, but you have to come up with a new fun fact. So let's hear it.
Nothing will ever top Price is Right because that was a pretty special day. I just got back from a trip out to a place called Thermal, California. Never had heard that before. There's a racetrack out there, and BMW offers a one-day race driving experience. So
Ooh.
had a chance to go out there, and spend a day racing all the BMW M cars, which was pretty
Nice.
cool.
Very
That's
nice.
fun. Oh my gosh, where is Thermal?
It's out by Coachella, like out past
Oh.
India. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Is this amazing racetrack facility, and BMW rents it out for part of the year, and they basically just give you the keys to their cars and let you have at it.
Mental
Wow,
note
wow,
made.
wow.
Very nice.
It's really fun.
See, you watch the show to find out fun things to do in California.
The more you know.
Hello
How
to Sean.
fast do you get to drive?
The M3s we got to drive on the big track, maybe 130, almost 140
that's some
miles an
speed.
hour.
That's nice.
Yeah, like it's legit.
Coolness. Okay, added to my bucket list.
Yeah, do it.
Bonnie, do you have a new fun fact for us? You're probably running out of them, but
Yeah, seriously. New fun fact. Wow. Michael, you go first. Because I have
That's
no
not
idea.
fun, Money. That would not be fun. I'm sticking with you going next. Talk about the time you went out to Thermal, remember? And the car wouldn't start.
No, I don't remember that at all. New fun fact. Well, several years ago, before I managed to break my neck, I was given a skydiving certificate, but I had to give that up because, needed neck surgery. So this past birthday, my husband got me another skydiving certificate because I've never gotten a chance to, and I would love
Gotta do
to
it.
jump out of a plane.
Have you
gotta
done?
do it.
Did you go yet?
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, you got to do it.
I
Best
haven't gone
thing
yet.
ever.
you guys have done
You've
it
done
as
it?
well.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
cannot
Have you?
wait.
No.
This side of the table.
Although what's interesting
I
is
would
as
so
an
much wanna
attorney,
go.
because you legitimately sign your life away repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like you watch
Yeah.
a video and you're probably going to die and you can't sue, and your family can't sue, and your neighbors can't sue, and if the chute doesn't open, you can't sue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, so you haven't done it. The best part about it is the first jump, you have to go tandem, right? Like somebody is
yeah.
attached to
Yes.
you.
Right.
Really?
You could drop dead in the middle of the air and you're gonna land safely.
Totally.
Like your instructors, they are amazing, like absolutely amazing. But I got to like cruise the chute a little bit on the way down, like
Fun.
so fun.
What
Oh my
was your
gosh.
favorite part? If you had to pick one part of the whole day, what do you think was the best part?
I would say, I mean, I have to say when I jumped out, but at the same time, I really enjoyed when we were cruising and not doing the free fall anymore.
Yeah.
Because when you're free falling, you're like barely able to breathe,
Right.
and it's like
Yeah.
so overwhelming, and you're trying to take it in. But once
I
you're
can-
just cruising in the air with the parachute and like taking it all in, like that is amazing, and you wish it lasted longer.
I can imagine it being very peaceful up there because I've gone parasailing and that was the one
Mm-hmm.
thing that I really loved. It was like cut the rope. It's really quiet up here. Leave me
Yeah,
alone. You
yeah.
can't even hear anything but, which is what I think I'm going to enjoy the
Oh my
most.
gosh.
And that's just it, though. So you're falling at 120 miles an hour, and it's as loud as you think that it would be. Like stick your head out the car on the freeway, and then they rip that cord, and it just goes boom, and it's quiet.
Yeah,
Yep.
You're like,
and that's exactly
instant.
what I'm
And
looking
you
for.
realize
And I
that
feel like
you're
it is like
gonna live,
parasailing.
right? Yeah.
Although I had to go tandem, and David and I went when we were first started dating,
Yeah.
and I got stuck with a mild creeper on my
Oh,
back.
no.
So the free fall was his opportunity because you're attached to
Oh
the
yes,
person.
very
Yeah.
closely.
Like you're sitting on their
Yeah.
lap the
Yes.
whole way up.
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
still
So
thinking I
speaking
could
of chat-
possibly. Yeah, I'm still
So
able
speaking
to.
of baby
yeah.
daddies,
Yeah.
really?
and so then we get to the bottom, and he's like, "So, did you want to grab that drink?" I'm like, "Well, I'm here with
Really?
him."
I'm not grabbing
and I'm
anything,
here
and
with
neither
all
are
these
you.
guys, right? And they're like, "Oh no, she's single." I'm like, "Wow, this is
Oh
what
wow.
I got. This is what I
about-
got. This is what
I will
got."
not forget, you literally are sitting on your instructor's lap the whole way up in this
pick a
teeny
good looking,
little,
pick the best looking person.
yeah,
you can
in this
find.
I'll
teeny
let my
little
husband
plane.
pick.
There you go.
And then though they go, okay, like, and he like spreads his legs, and you gotta like wiggle yourself down in there between
Yeah.
the legs so they can like strap you in tight.
You're
The
very
truth.
tight.
The
Yeah.
truth of skydiving, folks.
Yeah.
You heard it here
Buckle up
first.
for safety.
Yeah, no kidding. So you
And
get
give
cozy.
yourself time afterwards, because the adrenaline high lasts for
Yes.
hours.
Yeah.
That's
And,
what I'm
and all
hoping
you'll
for.
want to do
It
is just
did.
like talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then I'll do it the day I have this.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that's
Perfect.
amazing.
So I will come here and be ready to go.
There you
Perfect.
go.
I'll have a fun fact for you
Yeah,
and all
ready to
sorts of
go.
adrenaline.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear all about it. Totally the epitome of being in the moment. You're just like, well, here I am. Like, this is it. So I don't know how you're gonna top that.
I'm not even coming close. Let's just move on. Because
You
my,
think I'm gonna let you go?
no. What I have to say, you're going to think, that's fun.
Oh, I know what it should be.
Well, I'm not going to say that. But no, this is going to sound really strange compared to the adventurous type sitting at this table. Okay, when you reach a certain age, things happen that you say, wow, look at that. Now, this is maybe more along the lines of being on Price is Right.
Really?
Okay,
I-
I can't ask
I
us.
can't wait to
have-
see where this goes.
I have been a member of SAG-AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA, of course, is Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists.
Okay.
SAG-AFTRA. I don't have my card with me. But I've been a member since 1981, because I used to work at Good Morning America and KFMB and all these stations.
Yeah.
And many, many years, since 1981. Last 2 weeks ago, I get a letter from SAG-AFTRA. I thought they were going to say, "You're too old, you're out.
We're kicking you out."
We're kicking you out." Instead, congratulations. After all these years, we've turned your earnings into a pension. I thought, what? I'm getting a pension from SAG-AFTRA.
Get out.
I know that sounds crazy. And you're thinking, jumping out of planes, driving M3s at 140 miles an hour, winning 20 grand in shoes. But you understand, like that was like out of the clear blue sky. That was like the coolest thing in the
I
world.
want to know how to get into his deposit fund.
That's what I'm
Seriously.
saying.
That's
Well,
good karma. That's good clean living.
It's it's
But I know
phenomenal.
him.
SAG-AFTRA is
got
now
someone
paying me.
And you didn't even ask for it. Just a
I
special little gift.
I never applied for it. Just came here. You're eligible. After all these years, boom, it's yours. Now, can you imagine what like a real actor, like on a major show, gets as a pension after all these years?
You probably have a better idea than we do.
The
Yeah,
other
I probably.
The other
have-
cool thing is our
sad.
son, who's an attorney, called to say this very same day, talk about karma. Guess what? I got a part on Billions. I said, wait a minute, you're an attorney. What are you doing on Billions?
Yeah.
I'm playing an attorney. Okay, very cool. Just following in the footsteps.
Oh
right.
my gosh.
That's really
Very
cool.
Oh, that's very cool.
Well,
That's very cool.
He needs to become a member of SAG so he can get his pension later.
Right, he
in life.
has to, yeah.
Yeah.
When he turns whatever age.
Yeah.
Be quiet.
I didn't say a word.
All right, enough of all that.
Courtney says, poor Bonnie can't get any peace and quiet unless she's jumping out of a plane. Hashtag lawyer life.
I wish Courtney would spell it correctly, though. Yes, Courtney. She's and lawyer life.
Lay wife.
But it's
Lay
okay.
wife.
We
I
know
think
what she meant.
I think she knows what she meant too.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's,
so-
that's 2 quarters in the Bulldog Bank account at the office, Courtney.
Uh-oh, getting yourself in trouble, Courtney. You're going to regret
Typo
that
jar.
comment. Hello to our 8 live viewers. Guys, if you
Typo
like what
jar.
you see, we are just getting started, so
That'd
be
be
sure to
legit.
click follow on our live feed so you can be
Pays for
notified
lunch.
every time we go live. We're going to dive right in with David and Julie Butler. They are real estate agents with the Butler Gore Realty Group. Just give us an overview about yourself and your real estate business to start out.
You bet. So David and I work together. We're husband and wife. We've been married 14 years, and we cater to, I guess, a large area through referrals, but we focus kind of on the Carmel Valley, Torrey Highlands, Forest Ranch, Del Sur area. But I think through years of working with people, referrals kind of have brought us all over San Diego.
Yeah.
And we really love it. It's we have a ton of fun working together, helping clients.
What do you think is the best thing about your profession? What's your favorite part?
It's the satisfaction of helping people. You know, this is a process that a lot of them don't understand. It's kind of a big deal. It's a lot of stress. And so when we can help them get through that, and then you see the sense of relief.
The
kind of-
deep breath at the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's the most rewarding piece of it, is helping people through this process, through all the trials and tribulations, and coming out the other end to where it's an enjoyable experience, and you know, they're happy that they've either bought or sold a house.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's dive into the experience a little bit. Tell me what it's like to work with you. What's the experience like? What are people getting if they're working with David and Julie Butler?
So I think that between the two of us, you get a lot of customer service and you get kind of an immediate response with me. I communicate to other people the way that I like to be communicated with. And so I'm very kind of instant gratification. As soon as you call, you get a message. I respond to clients within 30 minutes at the most, and I let people know where they are within the process at all times. It's really important for me for people to understand what the entire process is from start to finish and where we are within that process really at all times.
Yeah.
David does a great job of spending the time to help prepare the home. And so he's the one that kind of works with the client to prep the home and make recommendations and do the walkthroughs. And you can kind of talk about what you do.
Sounds like you're dividing and
Sounds
conquering
like you're
a little
married.
bit.
Sounds like you're married, right? Now it's your turn.
Now you can speak.
And that's usually the way it works.
That sounds like a great team.
But pretty much as soon as I start speaking, she's going to take it.
Yes, yes, that is a good
Out of
marriage.
you.
I try.
That's so funny.
No, it lends itself well to dividing and conquering because there are different pieces. There are so many steps. We're very process driven, right?
Yeah.
We've got a systematic approach to what we do, and so we each have our roles, and we both do our independent roles very well. We've got a team to support us, but yeah. So my job is helping somebody to prep their home as they're getting ready to list it. There are things that they need to do to help show it in the best possible light. I can help them with that. I'll walk them through the process, kind of hold their hand to ensure that as they go through all those different steps, the listing, the negotiations, they know where we stand. So.
Yeah. Let's drill down on that a little bit. So I know staging is really important to you. Talk to us about the value in staging a home before you list it.
Rarely will we even take a listing without staging, and we cover the cost of all of the staging.
Awesome.
So it's important for us to be able to look clients in the eye and tell them that we're doing everything that we can to reach their goals. Traditionally, when we are listing homes, their goal is to get top dollar. And so in order to do so, we have a very systematic approach that really provides predictable results, which is inevitably setting price records. But staging homes, we tell people that, we want the home to show like a model home.
Yeah.
And buyers create emotional attachments to homes. They walk in and they can see themselves living there and they feel comfortable there. And they fall in love emotionally. So sellers sell logically, buyers buy emotionally. So
true.
It's important for us to stage the home and make it look like a model home, a neutral palette. We want to hear the term model home and move-in ready.
Yeah.
We don't ever want a buyer to walk in and say, oh, I would have to do this and this and this. No one wants to pay $1 million or $2 million or $500,000. Nobody wants to pay for a home and then see themselves having to spend
for
more
a home.
financially to invest even more.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we're pretty strong in our recommendations to stage. And again, because we incur the cost to do all of that, it's really no skin off of their back. But it's kind of bragging rights for us when we set price records.
Yeah.
And it helps with referrals because we do a great job.
Absolutely. Just setting people up for success. I know sometimes we show homes here and you'll see like a shrine of like crosses on the wall or something, and it's like, that's not for everyone, right?
right.
So somebody's gonna walk in and be like, whoa, what's going on in this house, And so making it neutral and really clean and model-esque is kind of where it's at, right?
Can I ask a question?
Please.
When I used to work with a company many years ago, Design Line Interiors. They would stage model homes. And people would see these homes and say, I want to buy that home exactly the way it is. When you've staged a home, have you ever had someone say, wait a minute, this looks great. We don't want to move.
Yes. Yes.
That's got to be the biggest compliment.
We have a contract because of that
Sure.
states that while we will allow people to cancel, we don't ever want anyone to feel forced to work with us.
Right.
We want people to want to work with us, and even though it can be stressful and emotional, we want them to enjoy the process. Life is short, and David and I do a really good job of having fun in everything that we do. But we do have a contract in place that states if you change your mind, the furniture comes back to us. It's not for sale.
Right. Because you can use that in other.
Because it's a job
It's
hazard.
an inventory.
You're selling
piece.
houses. You're not,
Yeah.
you're not
That's
interior
right.
decorators.
It's a bad business model if we do all of this work on the front end and then everyone changes their mind.
Right.
And we can always also, I like to encourage people, if you're going to be in your home for a little while, make those investments now.
Yeah.
We work with people over and over again that have been in their home for 10 or 15 years, and right before they sell, they do a major remodel and they repaint, and then they love their home. And so
For 6 minutes until we
that's
sell.
right. We live by the rule that we want to enjoy your home right now. And so we're going to repaint now, and we're going to get new furniture now.
Yeah, yeah. And that is one of those things that, if you're living in your home, and even, depending on what your timeline is, 3-4 years out, you want to sell. If you want to replace the flooring, replace the flooring. Like, to Julie's point, enjoy it now. While we do it all the time, somebody has to refurbish their home, paint, flooring, window treatments, whatever. And you do see just look at their home in a whole new light. Like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it could have been amazing for the last 2 years that you were living here.
Yeah.
We
So-
just bought our home, and the people had invested a lot. They had done it in the last 5 years of owning the home. And it was all done with the idea that all of these improvements were going to get them dollar for dollar recoup.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
No.
It never
Ever.
does.
And so we, and I was like, yeah, I can understand how you felt that way. Sorry.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know.
Right.
But you're the beneficiary.
But I'm the
of that.
beneficiary of
That's
like,
right.
a beautiful solar system and
Yeah.
And that to that point, that's why we encourage people to always interview different agents, because there are certain tricks of the trade where you can do minor investments or minor improvements that
Right.
will get a really good return on your investment. And people don't always gravitate naturally to what does. Some people think that they need to redo the whole kitchen, which you don't.
No.
You know,
You
so
can
there's-
reface.
That's right. And there's recommendations that we'll make. And again, it's kind of a third-party set of eyes, an unbiased, unemotionally attached set of eyes that says this is what sells.
Yeah.
It's all we do every day.
Yeah.
But I think it's something, I bet it's more though. So I have a feeling, I don't mean to hijack your question here.
Please, I just
but-
can sit there and fucking nap. You
Really,
don't even need me.
But
might as well
I
just-
imagine that people like the idea of working with a couple.
Yeah.
That's unique. And they hear, like, from the vantage point of two people who have been successful
Yeah.
Yeah.
and know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
getting this very unified view.
Yeah.
So that to me, I imagine
unless they're
is
bickering.
We appreciate that. And it's
Yeah.
interesting. We both have our natural strengths. I speak quickly. I speak to the point. I'm very direct. I joke that I have a heart of gold, but I have no filter, with my words.
I think us three ladies really have
Just
that
said
in common.
We're in trouble.
I mean, she's just
We're in trouble.
no filter, I'm direct.
But it's not mean.
No,
but
it's
I don't
honest.
sugarcoat.
What's the point?
I don't sugarcoat.
No.
You're hiring me because I'm a professional. Allow me to do my job.
Yeah.
And so I can relate to those people, and I'm very big on return on your investment, right?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have a lot of extra time in my life, and so I'm not here to waste anyone's. I respect everyone's busy schedule. And David he's calmer. He's a calming force. And so when things go wrong in escrow, which happens all the time, David is the one that says, hey, we got this.
You make him do those phone calls. Right?
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm very self-aware.
Totally.
I'm not a moron. I'm not blind.
But it does work out. I mean, even when we're meeting with clients for the very first time, different personalities, right? You can see it. And she'll go a mile a minute, and I see them starting to glaze over, and because they're not that personality type, they need things a little bit slower. And seriously, that is where I can slow it down and say, listen, I get you. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's like I understand because not everybody can keep up with, quick.
In psychology, we call that the D
Yes.
and the S. I'll explain that in another time.
Yes.
okay.
I'm all D. In the
You know,
profile, it's
D-I-S-C, the disc?
100%.
You familiar with that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you're a D.
Yeah.
And you're like the slow, steady.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and
Got it.
it's a good balance.
Yeah, it's a great balance.
We
Great.
can go drinking.
Yes. I would love that.
Big D. Okay.
In about 15 minutes.
And if you leave me out, you're never coming back. Either one of you. That's it. So Craig Harris says a man knows his role. # married life. He's giving you a hard time. And then Jared said Bonnie always drives that hard line in negotiations, even when buying that home. Hey. So David, Julie, I know you guys get a lot of common questions, and I just want to address one in particular. You mentioned that sometimes you'll get an appraisal that actually falls below what the asking price is. How do you combat that to get that top dollar for your sellers?
Well, it does happen. So especially in today's market where we are starting to creep back to where we're seeing record highs in some areas. It's a situation that to push the bubble, at some point you're going to be selling for the highest price in the neighborhood, right? And so where do you pull comps from to justify that price? And so you look at the numbers, and sometimes the appraisals don't come in, right? And so let's say, for example, you've got an offer to buy a property for $1 million, and the appraisal comes in at $950 because that's all that they've got to pull from the comps in the neighborhood. Maybe there haven't been that many sales recently, and so we have to deal with that sometimes. What we like to do is to negotiate up front that appraisal is not going to affect the particular deal we're working on. We try to negotiate it up front to where we're not going to base the sales price upon the appraisal value, because if the appraisal comes in low, we want our seller to get the number that is being offered, right? And so we try to negotiate that up front. If for whatever reason the appraisal does come in low, we work with the lender, we work with the buyer, we work with the seller, and we try to bridge that gap to get the price up to what the offer was.
I'm very big on setting price records, and we've done a very good job of doing so.
You don't like to win or anything, do you?
I know.
No.
You know, I love to win. Money is important to me, and these clients are relying on us to manage their largest asset, and that I take that to heart. You know, I'm up at night. It's a big deal to me. And these clients have hired us to fulfill a promise that we've made. And so in an appreciating market, it's not uncommon that we have to have these conversations. And there's ways that we can accept, as David was saying, we won't accept an offer that's contingent on the appraisal, because there's the only way to have an appreciating market is to be setting price records.
Yeah, so setting the expectation on the front end so you can ultimately deliver and have happy clients at the end, right?
Yep. And you'll never run into surprises with us. I do talk quickly, and there's a lot that goes into buying and selling, but it's important for our clients to understand as much as they're interested in understanding. We have clients that say, here's my key, do your job, and then we have other clients that call 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day, 7 days a week, and it's fine because I understand that the fear comes from not knowing, and so if we can help educate them, then it kind of calms them.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So, two amazing real estate professionals. You're kind of the 2-for-1 special, I must say. So, if somebody's looking to work with you, what's the best way to get in touch and find out more?
You can send us an email to vip@sandiegoexperts.com, or you're always welcome to give us a call at 858-229-9212.
And the website is SanDiegoExperts.com, so you can find out more information there as well. Thanks so much, David and Julie.
Thank you.
Sit tight, you're not going anywhere, but Bonnie Mantel, family law specialist at Primus Family Law Group, and Dr. Michael Mantel, transformational behavior coach. That is a mouthful. We're going to talk, does a baby daddy have rights? And if you guys have seen the news or social media even recently, Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson, hot buttons right now. They're calling Tristan
True.
third trimester Thompson, which is killing me, absolutely hilarious, because he's just be getting around on his ladies in the third trimester. So,
But she doesn't seem to care.
I think it was a publicity stunt, personally.
I don't know.
It came out like a day before she popped, so very appropriate timing. What do you have for us, Bonnie? Does a baby daddy have rights?
Well, you're asking on a legal basis, and the way the court looks at it is the only person they can be certain of is who's the parent is mom.
Yeah, baby's a brewing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're still cooking people in people, so that's really the only place that we can really be certain about that.
I love it.
So the father, unfortunately, here's the issue. When you have a child, you go to the hospital. If you're not married, there's going to be probably a nurse that has a voluntary declaration of paternity that she's going to want you to sign. If you sign that, that is a judgment of paternity, and you can take that, it gets recorded, and you can take that to the court, and then we're okay.
Okay.
If you don't sign that, and let's say for some reason things are happening, I mean, when I had I don't know about you, but I had no idea what was going on in the hospital. You could have signed, you know, Prince Charles is the father. I wouldn't know. Okay, I didn't care.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you don't have somebody's name on the birth certificate. Really, the only person who you can be certain of is mom. That gives mom 100% rights. She can take that baby and go out of California and go to Japan, and there's nobody going to stop her.
Wow.
The only way you stop is if you file a petition. It's called a petition to establish a parental relationship. Father can file it, mother can file it. It's not just daddies who do that.
Okay.
But until you file it, and then once you file a petition, on the back of the petition, or on the back of the summons, because you're always serving a summons on somebody, it says, hey, there's certain automatic temporary restraining orders. And one of them is you can't take the kid out of the state until this is all decided. So that keeps the child at least within the boundaries because, for the time being. So do they have rights? Emotionally, I know that, you can have a father that bonds immediately with the child. He goes to the hospital. He's there for the birth. He's raising the child. But nobody's actually gone to court. There are many kids who are having kids, and their baby daddy is involved, but they are not going to courts. They're not looking for child support. They're not looking for a physical custody arrangement, something that's forced upon them. They're getting along. That works until there's an argument.
And then what?
And then dad doesn't really have any rights. So mom goes in, and let's say, or mom tries to move, dad runs in and files a motion. He has to then establish that he's been this child's father. And there are some situations that you have a biological father who's not in the picture, but you have a new person who's in the picture, and they're raising the child as their own. We now have what is called a presumed parent. You can actually have more than two parents. You have bio dad, who comes in at some point, has to be done within a certain time frame to be a valid request for paternity. And if you're done within that time frame, but then mom is, let's say, married to somebody else. She had a baby, belonged to this guy, but she married this guy. This guy, the married father, is the presumed parent.
I have a girl I went to school with who has that similar situation. This guy had been her dad since as long as she can remember. She has a biological dad, but she doesn't know anyone different.
And the court will give priority to the presumed parent over the bio dad in certain situations, especially when presumed parent has been in the mix and bio dad has not. You can sometimes have it the other way. Presumed parent wants nothing to do with this kid. Bio dad wants everything to do with the kid, and he still can't get in.
That's scary.
Right.
So in order to prevent that situation, you got to be in the hospital, basically.
You got to be in the hospital, sign the birth certificate, sign the VDOP, the Voluntary Declaration of Paternity, or go to court and file your petition. Yes, that puts you on the hook for support, but if you're that interested in being involved with the child and financially assisting for that child, shouldn't be an issue.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about like the psychological side of this. So I know you've got some thoughts on that.
Yeah, so first of all, the concept of baby daddy, we were introduced to in hip hop music in the early mid 1990s. Baby daddy, baby mama. We have some fun, and I'm out of here. And that's my baby daddy, and that baby daddy has no interest in this kid. Today we have baby daddy 2.0. So we're friends and we're having fun one night, and next thing you know, there's a baby. And I want to be involved with this kid, but I don't want to get married. And given that marriage rates are declining, there are more baby daddies and more baby mamas than we've ever seen. So this becomes a very important point. Now, Bonnie and I were discussing this morning, in fact. The legal part of this is all well and good, but what about the emotional part? What about the fact that a father wants to have a relationship with a kid, not selfishly, but because of the well-being of that child?
Sure.
Research tells us that the father effect, the benefit to the child of a father being in that kid's life. A father who's been engaged with a child in the early months of that child's life, when they follow that kid, 2-3 years later, they see a cognitive, intellectual improvement that they wouldn't see if the father is not involved. They see stress tolerance, frustration tolerance, emotional control, better at problem solving, just because the father is involved in that child's life.
Well, I think it's important when you say, the father being involved. That's why I think one of the reasons why the legislature did allow for this expansion of how many parent roles you can have for this child is because they recognize that if this child is loved by a biological parent and a step parent, and however combination of permutation that comes in, it's probably better for the child. We always come from the point of what's in the best interest of the child. So, it leaves the adults out of the equation a little bit. Look, you are adults, you should know better. But we're going to focus on what's best for this little person who doesn't have a say or, can't speak for themselves. So I think that's why the legislature made this change, or at least I'm hoping, is because of this emotional effect. I have a case going right now that, you actually have somebody who signed who thought he was a sperm donor, signed a sperm donor agreement, but it was somebody that he had a relationship with, and it was just their way of getting through some of the issues that they had, and then they still had this relationship, and now he wants, he's always been a part of this child's life, but they have this agreement that says, I have absolutely nothing to do with this child. And so we're trying to undo it because this child knows this person, knows mom, knows, and there's no reason why it should be denied just because you did something back then which you thought might be a good idea, but maybe. So you've got a lot of, people who do sign.
Circumstances change.
Circumstances change. And if it's best for the child to know and be loved by more than one person, why not? It just creates a little bit of havoc when you try to triangulate between, you've got step parent and bio parent, or presumed parent and bio parent, and then what happens when these people, let's say, break up and then they get remarried, and now you've got a child who has these time with these other people, and they create a bond with this new person, and how many...
We got layers to this.
Seriously.
Think about that.
And then you look, I love acronyms, you know that, and the acronym that I use for the father, the parental father's involvement is the word EAR, E-A-R. How engaged is this father? Does a father play with this child? Does a father do more than just sit and watch television with the kid? How available, how accessible is this child, is the father to that child? And does the mother make that happen? And lastly, how responsible? What's the father's financial responsibility to that child?
And those are it's funny that he does that, because those three are part of the factors that the court has to consider when determining whether or not you're a presumed parent. If we can prove that you're the biological parent, it's a DNA test.
Right.
But are you a presumed parent? Did you hold that child out as your own? Hi, I'd like to introduce you to my daughter. I'd like to introduce you to my son. I go to parent-teacher conference. I'm the daddy. Put my name on, I'm the daddy.
Right.
Did you hold this child out as your own? Did you accept this child into your home? Does this child live with you? Have visitation with you? Stay at your home? Have a drawer, a toothbrush? Do you provide for this child? These are all things that have to be determined by a court before they will go, oh, okay, so you're not bio dad, but you're really dad.
Right.
Yeah. And in a culture where we celebrate baby daddyhood, I think we are just corroding the well-being of children in those relationships. It's sad and pathetic when you talk to those kids. They don't know who their fathers are. Now, to be very cutting edge, what about the case of like an LGBTQ type of a relationship, two mothers? And
it depends. We actually, I have a case where there are two moms.
Yeah.
But they're both from Russia. Russia does not recognize same-sex relationships. One of them took the child and moved to Russia, absconded to Russia. We can't get this kid back. They do not, we have full custody.
Right.
We can't get the kid back.
And
Russia won't honor the order.
That's actually terrifying.
Right. And I have cases right now of homosexual couples, two men and two women, separate couples, and those where they have engaged, involved, available, responsible relationships, and those kids are thriving. They do well. It is not about the sex of the father, let's say. This is a very important point.
I wanted to ask you this, so I'm glad
very
you're
important point. It has nothing to do, I don't think it's like the male.
Right.
I think it's that second parent is involved. And so that may be putting off to some people who are very uptight and conservative about things, but the facts remain that second parent that we've come to call in the vernacular the baby daddy. I think that baby daddy 2.0 is moving in very fast.
Well, a lot of the case law with respect to the presumed parents deal with same sex, because when you have two mommies, only one can be the mommy.
Right.
And when you have two daddies, there is no mommy.
So by default, in a two-mommy situation,
The
is it the
birth
one that
mother.
births it? That's just how it goes, huh?
So, but here we have presumed parentage, so you
Right.
can at least overcome that. We also now, in the United States, recognize same-sex marriages.
Right.
It's when you're dealing with people who are from different places and they come, and then they have to, it's become. The laws are having to change because society is changing.
Right.
Just like Jarrell had set up there, father's right seems to be on the rise because you have more and more in today's society where mom goes out to work, dad may be the stay-at-home parent.
Right.
50s, that wasn't happening.
Never.
Right? But now you may have that. And so technically, whereas, in the 50s, you would never have a father being the primary parent, now you could easily have a father being a primary parent.
Right.
My own situation, my husband is the stay-at-home. Thank God. He does it so I can go and do.
Right.
Technically, he's the primary parent.
Right.
Now, hopefully he's not listening.
We know Barry watches the show.
But he's
So.
watching.
But,
Closing your ears, Barry.
but he knows.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So,
Well, and I think interesting, like similar to how you two are a 2-for-1 special. Like somebody works with you, you get 2 different perspectives and can kind of, meet somewhere in the middle. The same is with parenting, right? You have 2 different perspectives from 2 different parents that mold you into that one amazing human you're going to be. And like you, we're being optimistic, Bonnie, don't laugh. And like you said, Michael, though, only having one plays a huge role in their psychological growth and well-being.
It does. And
although one stable parent is often better than 2
fighting parents or 2 unstable
Unstable.
parents. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, Michael?
We're talking about stable parents. I've been married 47 years.
I know. I just love to,
Well, I don't.
just love to bug him.
But I think that today, especially what I've seen, is that in this baby daddy era, fathers need to be taught what it means to be a father. It doesn't mean just paying for the toys for a kid or showing up for a few hours and watching TV with a kid. It is engagement with a child. It is more than just, I'm your father. And I think the kids today thrive when parents demonstrate that they want to be high touch with their kids. So I don't know that this baby daddy situation has helped parenting or helped kids. It's a fact of life. And when we look at this from a legal perspective, there is always the emotional perspective. And so just like you two work together with your clients, although we're not married, that we often will look at cases from the perspective of each of our views. Now the clients may not even know that,
Right.
but they benefit from the fact that we have 2 perspectives.
So true. And I like what Clay and Fatu Purposeful Pair said. She said, great touching on how involved is the father. Just because you're a father on a birth certificate, it's also about the time, love, care, participation, lessons, communication, and so much more that make a father truly a dad. So right on page with you, Dr. Mantel. Yes, stability, she says. Barry, of course, is watching and commenting those fun little emojis. We love you, Barry. So 12 live viewers, hi to everyone watching. Thanks so much. So we are going to wrap up here. Bonnie, I want to make sure people know how to reach you at Primus Family Law Group. They can find you at primusfamilylawgroup.com. Really straightforward.
PrimusFamilyLaw.com.
PrimusFamilyLaw.com. And do you want to give out a phone number?
Sure. You can reach us at 619-574-8000. And don't forget, we offer a free 30-minute phone consultation to hear a little bit about your case and how we can best help you with it.
Absolutely. And same for you, Dr. Mantel.
Dr. Mantel, DrMantell at me.com, 2 L's, DrMantell at me.com. And my phone number, my cell phone number is 619-743-2555. And there's never a charge for that first session. So I'm always happy to talk with people.
Can we find your book on your website too?
My book is not on my website. You can find the book on a better website.
Amazon.
It's called Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. A little bigger than my website, so I thought I'd just keep it up
Yeah,
there.
let them do what they do.
Yeah, they do fine. The link is What You Think. That was my most recent book, and you'll find that in all my books on that website.
Perfect. Go to Amazon, guys. So we're going to wrap up here. I want to come back to you, Julie and David. Again, they're with Butler Gore Realty Group, SanDiegoExperts.com. What's your takeaway for today? What do you want people to remember about the information you shared?
Spend more time with your kids.
No baby daddy problems here.
You can hire us to sell your home so that you can spend more time with your kids.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
Awesome.
It's true. We are very grateful for any opportunity to meet with people, and we encourage people interview several agents. We're proud of the service that we offer, and if you don't interview other agents, you won't understand how much we do for our clients.
Amen.
And so we would love to help anyone out there.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And Bonnie, I'm coming back to you. What's your takeaway? What should people know?
I think people should know that just because you've had a child does not necessarily mean that you're going to be recognized as that parent. And you've got some steps to take to make sure that if you're going to need legal services, that you are legally viewed as that child's parent.
Yeah, get prepared, know your rights, and hire someone who knows what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Like you. Cool. Dr. Mantel, what's your takeaway?
My takeaway is that marriage is important and that it sets the groundwork for healthy parenting. It doesn't mean you can't parent without marriage, but it sure is important. In this day of baby daddy, I want to have a baby, but I don't want to be involved with you. At least be involved with your children.
Amen. Just keep it as simple as possible, right? I like it. Well, thank you so much for watching, everyone. This has been Real Talk San Diego, coming to you live from Smarter San Diego Studios, bringing you the business of life in America's finest city. I'm Claire McKee. You know the drill. Go love everyone, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.